What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the cast right here on Celestia Radio. It is your host, Matthias, back with my boys, Dalit and Nat. One of them might be slightly dying, but he's here. How we doing, gents?
Yeah, I'm going alright. But as for Doled, how you doing, buddy?
Sick.
Yep.
I'm sick. I'm still sick. It sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it do be like that, huh?
Yeah.
So, you might hear a lot more of me and Nat this episode as we try and let Dalit kind of rest to the best of his ability as we're hanging out
Thank
tonight.
you.
This is a warning to our lovely audio editor here, Dalit, and to our viewers. If you hear any like weird noises in the background, there's a chance I have these really large balloons behind me that I'm hoping they'll remain still since there's no like airflow, but they might bump occasionally. So
Interesting.
I just came back from I literally just came in from a surprise birthday party that was thrown for me, and they sent me they were like, here, you have to take the balloons as well because we got the big like number balloons to show my age and everything, and some other things. And so I came in, I sat down, I put the stuff on my bed, set the balloons down, and I'm just like, oh man, those are kind of noisy in the background, but I had my fan going at the time, so hopefully with the fan off and everything, they'll remain still. But yeah, that's a warning.
Maybe before just one pops in the recording. If it does happen, keep it in.
Yeah, no, probably.
Honestly, yeah, you probably should. It'll scare the crap out of me, and that'd be great. But yeah, we don't have so much of a specific topic this week. We're just kind of hanging out, chatting, catching up. We haven't met in I think like a week or so since our boy over here has been sick, and
It's been not great.
and our host here has been a tad bit busy. But given the month that we're recording this in, it's a busy month for me. So yeah. So I figure, let's just hang out. Let's chat.
Yeah. What's up, Matt? What have you been doing?
So let's see. What has Matt been up to? Matt's been up to a considerable number of different things, really. As last episode probably, I think it's last episode, maybe two before, whatever. Probably showed. I got bombarded with Genshin and it having a new update.
Man, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there was something going on in Wuthering Waves, so I went back to Wuthering Waves for that. There's a really big patch coming up in Star Rail, so I'm trying to prep for that. And all while I was trying to do stuff in Path of Exile and work on the Kiseki games. So I'm just like, no, gotcha games, don't do everything at once. Like, you're too time consuming. I don't have time for my actual games in between all of this.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm like on the last act for my solo playthrough PoE character, and I just haven't been able to go through and finish it. Hopefully I'll get to do that this week since I finished up Genshin. So yeah, I got that, and then I'm just now still at the end of chapter 1, act 1, chapter 1, whatever, for Azure. So I'm like, I have so much still to do there. And haven't been able to play it. But no, as for what Matt's been up to, Matt's been trying to get these gotcha things in order. I'm super ready for the Fei Xiao banner, and not as ready for the Robin and the Linksha banner, but Fei Xiao, she will be obtained at least. The rest of it will have to rely on some luck and maybe some birthday funds that come in.
Oh.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Breaking the magic for you because we've already had an episode that came out on my birthday. Obviously, we recorded that before my birthday, guys. So
yeah,
this recording is actually a little bit closer to my birthday than that was. So
yeah.
So yeah, that is something that we'll see what happens. Because you'll definitely hear about it at some point in an episode, I'm sure. So I did finish 5.0 for Genshin. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I'll hold off on sharing those this moment. See, where the episode goes. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit later. Um, Wuthering Waves. I got the free 5-star, limited 5-star character. I actually really like him, like character wise. I like him. He's pretty chill.
Oh shit! I need to go get him.
Yeah,
Totally forgot.
yeah, it's pretty easy to do.
Oh no! Like I already got the requirements. I just need to actually log in.
Oh, actually claim him. Yeah. I liked him enough, like story wise, and then actually doing the like playtest thing of him to go. Oh, I have these 30 pulls for the weapon banner. Let me throw him at his weapon because I'm like I actually like him enough that I wouldn't mind having his weapon for him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the weapon, so I'm just like, oh well, I'm that much closer to the next weapon I actually go for.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Okay. So we obviously talked about this, off cast and all that, but like, one, doesn't Wuthering Waves patches feel way too long? Because we're only at like 1.2, right? It feels like it should be at least like 1.4 by now. It's only been like a couple months. It's weird.
It really does. Yeah, we did talk about this off cast before. Wuthering Waves, it's strange. It feels like even though the patch cycle is the same length as like Genshin or Star Rail or ZZZ or uh, I guess most of its contemporaries for that matter. It it just feels like it's going so much slower.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you why it feels that way either. Maybe if I were like more actively playing it, it would feel faster because like I know when I'm playing Star Rail because I play Star Rail every day. I actually got called out for playing Star Rail every day earlier this week by our friend D. He posted in the Discord. He's like, "Look at Matt here with 130 login streak or play streak on Star Rail," and I'm like, "Bro, don't call me out like that." Um, and that like those patches feel like they're so fast. But then again, I'm playing every day, and like I'm only like maybe 5 minutes max most days, just knocking out some daily like grind stuff, and then putting it down. The other day I did get to I did get to stream the like end of the story quest I was doing, but it just feels so much faster because I'm playing it maybe. Whereas
Maybe.
like Genshin, it's kind of the same way when I'm not playing Genshin actively. When like usually the later half of Genshin's like patch cycles, when the main story is like in that lull between major story chapters,
Yeah.
those feel like they go really slowly because sometimes like I'll see the leaks for characters that come out and I'm like, oh okay, cool, and then I'll like look over and it's like I'll see the YouTube videos go up of people summoning for this character. And it's like it went up yesterday, and I'm like, wait, is that character just now coming out? I thought I saw the leaks for that months ago. So
Yeah, so this is going to be my follow-up question, which is also my point too. Do you think the reason why Wuthering Waves feels slow in terms of updates is because there aren't that great of a characters coming out? Like there's no like hype characters coming out. Because the first one and the only one people really liked was the first guy that came out, one with the spear. And then everything else is just like,
So that's not entirely true now. Because the first guy with the spear was very hype. The girl that followed him was also very hype.
Yeah. If you have
and then
Calchera,
both of the other characters in 1.1 were very hype.
Are they? I have not heard about them whatsoever.
Is this Dragon and Phoenix?
Dragon and Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, no, they were spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Jinshi is Jinshi. She is the best DPS in the game right now, I believe. And
she Dragon?
Yeah, she's Dragon.
She has like she's the best looking character in the game.
Yeah.
I prefer Phoenix like aesthetically, but in terms of her moveset, these two characters look amazing.
Phoenix you can do some really wacky stuff with. It's pretty cool with the way her moveset works.
Wacky.
Yeah, so I'm like both characters were characters I wanted, and unfortunately I got neither of them. I'm so unlucky. No, I didn't really give a solid attempt for either. I think the real issue isn't a matter of hype characters. Now 1.2 neither of these characters were particularly exciting to anybody. That's a given.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was really any excitement for either of them that I've seen. But I think the real problem isn't even like characters. I think it's just like because the game is still new and they're still working on like adding things to do. We really only have one end game mode right now. We have like a few events that aren't particularly anything special, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just like kind of basic, is I guess what I want to say.
Yeah.
I think the current event, the one that you do to get the free 5-star character, that is probably I think the most interesting or in depth event we've had. So we'll we'll see. I think the game is still like it's still a matter of it just feels really slow because it's still really new and they're still like working on adding things and polishing things and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is. I don't think it's a matter of hype because I mean we had 4 really hyped characters all in a row, 2 that I don't think there was a huge amount of hype for, but then 1.3 we have one very hyped character, and if the rumor mill is to believe 1.4 will also be a very hyped character. So I don't think it's a matter of like not having interesting characters. I think it's the game still kind of finding its legs and the how to do its patch cycles and what to release
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
How to properly build hype, I think, is kind of the thing. And plus the story is like not gotten to that point. We're still in the early gotcha game story stage where the story is kind of meh, nothing really to write home about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so the story isn't exciting enough for new story to be, oh boy, new story, what's going to happen next? So
Yeah.
give that a little bit as well. And I think that's really what it is for Wuthering Waves. Because yeah, I haven't
Fair.
really been actively playing it, but I pop back in, get my free character, catch up in the story a little bit because I do want to summon for Shorekeeper when she comes out next patch. She looks incredibly beautiful. Like her animation, she has like a whole cutscene when you switch into her on
What the fuck?
yeah, it like if neither of you have seen it, uh give it a Google after we're done. Like
Oh
it's
god.
crazy. Like she gets like a whole like ultimate animation cutscene just when you switch into her. It's it's crazy.
Oh, that's nuts. I've been checked out since I guess Jian was still on banner, so
Yeah. So
Oh,
since
Jinyan, yeah.
yeah, so I mean I would definitely give that a look. It's like wild. Um so yeah, it was so I'm trying to like, do some catch up and get ready for her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure like if I actually give Wuthering Waves the time like I would uh like I used to give Genshin in these situations or like I do give Star Rail, I could get enough to guarantee her. But the thing is like even though I like Wuthering Waves, I just it's like even with Genshin right now, and like Genshin being in one of those like high points where I really like playing Genshin, I just don't really want to give time to all the gotcha games right now. So while I am giving them more time than I have been, it's still not as much as I used to. Like the
Yeah.
only gotcha game that I have like zero like I have zero second thoughts about giving time to is Star Rail. I've just gotten to the point where I just Star Rail is just an incredibly fun game. There's things I like. If I wanted to play Star Rail, I could log in and play Star Rail, and there's things for me to do. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to worry about stamina system. I don't have to worry about I can just do things for fun without having to like worry about like farming for stuff or whatever. So like it's just I've gotten to the point where I just really enjoy Star Rail, and that's the one that I don't mind giving time to for a second thought. Like
Yeah.
without question, if you're like hesitant towards MiHoYo, because I have friends that are hesitant towards MiHoYo, and you like you want to like give one of their games a try, or if you considered giving one of their games a try, play Star Rail. Give that one a try because it's just an incredible game. It's the team there that shows a lot of like player appreciation. The game's really well polished. It's really fun. So that is my like wholehearted endorsement. Um, I made a video when I was doing YouTube videos for like mobile and gotcha games, like making some recommendations for like try this game if you're just getting into the whole gotcha scene. And I wish Star Rail was out when I did that video because I just would have made the whole video about Star Rail. I honestly would have just made the whole video about Star Rail. Just play Star Rail. It
Yeah.
like sometimes it doesn't even feel like a gotcha game. It's so wild how generous it can feel sometimes with things. So it's yeah. Um, Outside of the gotcha games, I've been working like I've been doing some like work, like personal work. Like I've been working on my writing and stuff again. Um, I've been like doing research for school, potentially for some things. I've been uh trying to teach myself to draw, which is a fun endeavor. Um, I've been I've been keeping myself very busy with a lot of like just things outside of playing games recently. It's just
Holy
it's
shit! Hobbies outside of video games. God damn.
right. Yeah, writing, drawing. I've been exercising a bit more, so
Let's go.
Oh
yeah.
god, this is oh god, we're in the new Matt arc.
No, it's one of those things, right? Like I already broke the release date recording magic thing by like so when September rolled around for me, I'm like, oh god, September 1st hit, and I'm like, I have this many days until my birthday, and I'm like, this many days until I turn 30 years old, and I'm just like, oh no, and I'm
Bro's
like,
having a fucking midlife crisis already.
I really kind of was. Like in those first few days of September, I really kind of was. And I finally was just like, I was like, you know what? Nah, screw this, man. I'm tired of this like panic and this crisis that I'm like like hyping myself into. I'm like, because I was just like, bro, I'm about to turn 30. My 20s were just kind of all over the place. Like I didn't get anything done. I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I don't care if I'm 30. Um, it did help. I've had a lot of people, keep telling me they're like, "Bro, it's not a big deal. Like you're 30, so what? You can still go back to school if you wanted and get a degree, and
Yeah.
like start a career." It's like they're like, "Stop panicking." And so somebody said I was watching a stream. I don't remember what stream I was watching, and one of the guys off camera on the stream was like, "I'm 42. Is 42 old?" And the guy that he was talking to was like 28. And the guy was like, 42? Brute, no, you're not old. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. Did somebody under the age of 30 just call somebody over the age of 40 not old? Oh, wow.
That's a
I was
first.
I was just like, man, all right, maybe I shouldn't feel so bad about turning 30, I guess. Um, but I have been thinking, I'm like, I'm working to get myself like back into the flow of things with doctors and stuff again because getting my health in order. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I should start trying to take better care of myself. I've cut back on the soft drinks. I've cut back on, like just eating junk. Not that I've ever been much for junk food, but I have like a soft spot for like pizza and burgers.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to cut back on those. Like I've definitely cut back on the pizza, that's for sure. Yeah, trying to eat healthier where I can. I've been drinking a heck of a lot more water, and then I'm trying to work on getting some exercise in, like where I can, just in whatever way I can. Mostly like cardio things.
Mhm.
The weather this last week has like cooled down significantly here in my corner of Florida, so I'm just like, you know what? If it stays like this, I might start waking up early this upcoming week just to go on walks while it's still like really nice out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been like hardcore, like just you unintentionally like trying to like reinvent Matt at 30 years old, and just because I'm like, all right, I used to make this joke when I was in high school. I'm never gonna make it to 30. I'm never gonna make it to 30. And I sat here, September 1st rolled around, and I'm like, bro, I'm about to make it to 30. I didn't plan for life after 30. What do I do?
Bro, fucking that's a mood.
So yeah, I've been trying to exercise, trying to do more like like that. I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see like if I can't get back get back into a gym. So I have like my nephews that have been going somewhat frequently. So I'm gonna see where they've been going. Maybe get in with them. Maybe have a couple buddies that live here that do it. So I'm like maybe see about if they want to do it with me or something. I don't know. But I'm kind of waiting on that like first doctor's appointment to get like my major like back issue I have sorted first before I really jump into that. But
Right.
yeah, I'm trying, which I think is more than I can say at any point in from the age of 20 to 29. I think I can say I'm trying.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
Forward progression and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, working on healthier mat, working on, the things that I really, really like enjoy working on, like the creative things. Cause I haven't been working on my creative stuff in a long time. And so I'm working on my creative stuff, really enjoying that. Or something else. What else was I did? Yeah, did the gotcha games. Thankfully, like I said, finished the Genshin thing, so I have more time. Hopefully gonna get into maybe finishing that solo like characters run of the story in PoE this week. And then I've been on a Linkin Park re-kick because they recently announced their like new album and their tour with I want to try my best to word this carefully so I'm not, wording it bad. Their new singer, but not a replacement singer, but just a new singer in the band, in addition to like everything else, because they made a point of saying it, and I feel like it's very important to say it. They're not trying to replace Chester because you can't replace Chester. That's just not possible.
Mm-hmm.
And even they said as much. So they have their new singer in the band with them, and so I listened to their like single from their new album. I absolutely loved it. I thought it sounded like real like early 2000s Linkin Park, and it was great. I think she sounds awesome. I watched their like live performance they did with her, and obviously no, she's not Chester, but she definitely like she makes me think of Chester when she sings. Like even though it's clearly not him, she at least I don't know if sounds enough, like close enough to make me think of him, or just the way she sings makes me think of him. It's hard to say. And like I think with like certain songs she does better at like that sounding like him kind of thing than just reminding me of him because there were certain songs that it did sound like eerily like Chester when she sang certain lines in it. So it
Right.
was so I think it was really cool, and I'm really excited for the new album, and just to hear Linkin Park again because like growing up that was like one of like middle school, high school. I was a huge Linkin Park fan. I still am a huge Linkin Park fan, and I'm probably like always will be a huge Linkin Park fan. So just the concept of like new Linkin Park music in 2024, 2025, and forward and all that. That's
Mm-hmm.
just exciting to me.
Yeah. So the only thing I've really heard of is that they got a new singer, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that they're still here. That's a surprise. But if their new stuff is good, then that's good.
Have you heard their single Net?
No, I have not.
I'll shoot you the link to it after cast.
All right.
Um,
But like I it's kind of weird that they says that they're not replacing Chester, but here's a new singer. And, like I know what they were trying to say, but it's just like let's be real here. Like you're obviously replacing in quotation mark because Chester isn't with us anymore. Um, but yeah, I just
I
find
like
it.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just find it weird, but also like I understand what they're trying to say. It's like yeah, all right, yeah,
Yeah, and
you do you.
I don't think anybody is like trying to like sugarcoat that. I think they just want to be very specific in their wording because
Yeah.
like Chester meant a lot to all of the members of that band. They were all like really good friends from everything I understood.
Hmm.
Um if I'm not mistaken, like and I could be wrong on this, But if I'm not mistaken, him and Mike had known each other like most of their lives. So it's like I get why they say it the way that they say it, because Lincoln Park will always be Chester and
Yeah.
them and everything. So,
Yeah.
but I like in terms of like the music and everything, I think Mike did most of the songwriting. So like the lyrics and everything should probably still be about the same. Uh, but I could be wrong about that. But I'm fairly certain he did most of the songwriting.
Has there been any confirmation that they've done? I don't want to say like covers or like re-releases, but like have they like sung in the old songs with the new singer?
So yeah, they did
Yeah.
a live performance when they announced everything.
Mm.
And it was her singing, uh, so her there performing with them, and it was basically doing all of their old stuff, a couple different things from like every one of their major albums,
Right.
with her singing, and then they did their one new song from the new album coming up. So,
Okay.
and there's plenty of that all over YouTube. I think the performance is even up on Linkin Park's like YouTube channel. If you go to the
Oh
channel,
yeah.
you can watch the whole live performance. Um, so yeah, you can get a feel of what she sounds like singing the old stuff. Kind of a feel for what she sounds like singing live, and then there's the single that's up of like the studio, what she sounds like in the studio. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I know like some people like my sister and my nephew, they're both like it's just not the same. It's not Chester. We can't get
Mm.
past that. And I'm like, I guess that's fine. I understand it's not Chester. And it really sucks that Chester's no longer with us. But I'm just so excited to see, Linkin Park perform again. I'm just so excited to at the concept of, new Linkin Park music. And it really feels like the way they talk about it, it's like, yeah, Chester's not with us anymore, but that's why we want to keep doing music as Linkin Park. We want to keep doing music, in honor of Chester for
Yeah.
Chester. And I'm like, I want to let them cook. I want to let them do what they do. And I'm going to be right there rocking along with them because I love Linkin Park. I guess
Yeah.
that's the simple.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, that's really what I've been up to. I've gotcha games slammed me like all of them at once, and I got kind of aggravated because I couldn't do the other games. So finally catching up in that so I can play other games. Working on me, I guess you can say, and going on a Linkin Park binge in just nostalgia. Like that's kind of what I've been up to. Uh, so Nat, you
Me?
got called. Yeah, you got called out by
No, I didn't.
Discord.
No, I didn't.
Discord called Nat out.
No, I didn't.
Nat's been playing gotcha games.
No, I'm
And
not.
he's been playing Honkai Star Rail. He's been playing
Oh, you're in trouble.
Genshin Impact. He's been playing ZZZ, and he's been playing Wuthering Waves. Like he's been playing all of them, man. Like Discord was just like, yeah,
Okay,
yo.
okay. Let me just clear things up. I think saying that I've been playing Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero is just completely flat out fucking wrong. Okay. As for Star Rail and Wuthering Waves, yeah, I've somewhat came back to them, but like even then, my time is still mostly on other video games. But yeah, like it's really weird because let me just get this out of the way. Zenless Zone Zero, the only reason I fucking play that game is because I could not fucking escape just how hyped John Doe is from
Jane
Zenless
Doe.
Zone Zero. Jane Doe.
Jane.
Yep, whatever. Sure. Okay.
Very important to get that joke right. Hey.
Is to get her screenshot it and then post it up on Twitter, baiting people, right? Into like, negative reactions to all the people who still, to this very second, still don't have her, who are trying to get her and all that. But me actually playing the game, playing is a generous word I'm using for this game. Yeah, no, after like 2 missions, I'm like, this game is unironically fucking dog shit, and it's not worth the effort to put into my bait, so I kind of dropped Zone Zero already. So yeah.
As good as the animations are, I did more or less the exact same ending.
Yeah.
I tried, but nothing about that game helped me.
Yeah, no.
So.
The only reason why people still play that game is for the character designs only. There ain't no fucking way people are actually playing
Which
it
are
because...
great, fair enough.
Yeah, but like I don't think people are playing it for the actual gameplay of this game, because it's like, okay.
I mean, that game never really had my attention to begin with. Like, I remember when everybody was talking about it prior to launch, and I'm just like, man, I can't find a reason to care about this game.
Yeah, same.
I still really haven't found a reason to care about this game, to be fair.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that it's gonna continue that way as well.
But
Unless
it finally came.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, unless they do something drastic, which I don't think they will. In terms of gameplay, not like character designs, because again, people are playing for the character designs, not the actual gameplay. So unless they do something drastic with the gameplay, I don't think there's actually any reason to play the game for the gameplay.
Yeah, but like even the characters, none of them really did anything for me that they were showing off like prior and whatnot. So after like a week of the game being out, I finally was like, there's all that new player bonus. What if something I actually want comes out at some point that catches my interest in this game? Maybe I should like start up an account, get the like new game launch bonus stuff. I looked at but I was like, I need something. I need some kind of character that at least, somewhat interests me. Is there anything like that in this game at launch? And one of the 4 stars, I was like, okay, I kind of like that 4 stars design. And then it was like, this 4 star is free, in the launch patch. And I'm like, all right, cool. If I do the launch stuff, I get the free stuff at launch, and I get this 4 star that I like the design of. Let's do that. So I played it at launch, got that 4 star, and then I was just like, none of these characters really do anything for me. There was a really cool cutscene in the story though that had a cool character, and I'm like, all right, that character's cool. When that character comes out, I'll come back to this game. And I haven't looked at ZZZ since. And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that character to come out.
That character Miyabi?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured as much. She was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, she did a cool like samurai, like anime samurai Virgil cut giant robot, whatever it was thing going.
It was cool. She did the Raiden theme from Metal Gear Vengeance. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I'm all right. You're cool. When you come out, I'll come back to playing just to summon for you, I guess, and we'll see if I still play after that though. But yeah. I don't really blame you on stopping ZZZ. I don't have the issues you had with it.
Well, the reason why I have an issue with it is because I've played better action games than ZZZ. And I'll name 2. Wuthering Waves and Devil May Cry.
Saying Devil May Cry is not fair. That's like the peak of action.
Hey man, MiHoYo's got how many millions of dollars in their bank account right now? I'm pretty sure they can put some money and effort into the game, is what I'm trying to get out.
I mean, you make a good argument. I'll give you that. But no, you're right. Wuthering Waves definitely better. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. But it was just wild to me when I saw you playing these, especially ZZZ. I was like, oh.
Yeah. It was all for a bait, and I just could not follow through because I just could not stand it. It was, and also like just the aesthetic of it, I was just not a big fan of. I'm like, okay,
So I wasn't sold on the aesthetic prior to it. I will say while I was playing it, I did start to dig the aesthetic a lot, especially the music. I was really there, I was feeling the music. I was like, all right, this is pretty
Right.
good. Um, Even if Discord hadn't ratted you out though, Star Rail would have ratted you out because, dude, I made bank off of you the last like week or so from you using my Firefly. I made bank. I'm like, dang, Nat,
Yep.
roll in the credits for me, man. I'm here for it.
Yep. Yeah, I've fucking been using Matt's Firefly because I'm just like, okay, just auto shit for me, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Star Rail's been like, oh, it's really weird because like my team is very stuck in 1.0 patch 1.1, yeah, because we all, correct, including Dollar, played
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all played it from release. I think it was like a couple days for me after release, but generally it was when release time happened. We all played it and we all enjoyed it and all that. But yeah, when I came back to it, it's like, here's all the new things. I'm like, okay, let's try and do a couple events. And then I just get my ass fucking handed to me, all because it's like, yeah, this enemy does this, and that. There's also a new thing with buffs, and it's only affected by super breaks. And I'm like, what the fuck is all this fucking shit, bro? And so I was getting my ass handed to me, and it's just like, okay, I see a very obvious just problem with my team. Hopefully someone's coming out very soon that will help me. Lo and behold, Fei Xiao and Robin's coming out very soon, so hopefully I get them and fix my problem with doing content.
Yeah, that is one thing, especially with like an RPG gotcha game. If generally the content that comes out per patch is somewhat tuned to the recent characters.
Oh yeah.
So unless you have all of the characters before that point, you have a bit of a hard time adjusting to the new stuff, which I've seen that in other games before.
Yeah, so having 1.0 team doing 2.4 content was not fun. So yeah.
Well, hopefully, you snag yourself a Fei Xiao and Robin, and you just go to town wrecking stuff because
Yeah. That is the plan.
You will. Um, I've seen gameplay of Fei Xiao at this point, a lot of it, because all of the creators have gotten their hands on it.
Oh, of course.
This chick does damage and she does work, all without dupes too. Like no dupes needed.
Oh, nice. That's good to hear because I fucking hate how everyone is like, oh yeah, uh, La person is very good, but you should really get her at E6 and she does all this. And it's like, oh, that just blended the fucking FOMO and like BIS brain mindset that I currently have, and I'm just like, oh no, my character isn't good if I don't have that.
Thankfully for Star Rail, the only time they ever consider the eidolons for characters is if they're 4 stars when people talk about them.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like it's like for Star Rail, it seems like the general consensus across like YouTubers and streamers and just different guide writers and stuff is we rate 5 stars off of no constellations. How good are they with 0 constellations, eidolons?
Mm-hmm.
And then 4 stars are rated on having E6, all the
E6. Yeah.
So
that being said, though, I'm pretty sure you brought this up. E1 Firefly, is she mandatory because it just helps with her?
She's not. It's actually it's funny when I was looking at guides for Firefly and things like that when she came out. A lot of people, because a lot of guides and people will be like, so let me tell you like which dupes for her, like the most important kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're somebody who wants to summon for dupes, or if you want to whale for characters, which dupes are important. So I read those two just out of curiosity because generally I'm just curious. And then for Firefly, she was somebody I was planning to summon for dupes for anyways.
Yeah.
Most people said it's actually her E2 that's more important than
Oh,
her
really?
E1 because her E2 guarantees she gets more turns before she exits her like super mode.
Oh, yeah.
All her E1 does is make it to while she's in that mode, she doesn't use skill points,
Which
which
is nice.
which is really nice. It makes her very skill point, friendly as a unit. But her team as a whole isn't a very skill point heavy team.
Oh, so it
So
doesn't really matter if she uses
yeah,
skill points or not, but yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really matter. So what that ends up doing, what I've noticed that ends up doing is basically if you don't have her at E1, you have to at least pay attention to your other three characters on most notably Trailblazer. You have to pay attention to not maybe not using their skill every time, right? Maybe
Right.
do a basic attack here or there to make sure you have some skill points. And that's really it. And it's like Ruan May, you only have to use her skill once every like 3 turns. You like feasibly you shouldn't have to ever use Gallagher's skill unless somebody's like hit with a really bad debuff that you want to get rid of. But
Mhm.
even then, you that's not like super common because it kills too fast for that to pop up. So your skill point users are mostly Trailblazer and Firefly. Trailblazer, like you can skip like using his skill once or twice just to make sure you have skill points for her, and it's fine. But when
Mhm.
you have that like first dupe into Firefly, it's basically you just use Trailblazer skill every turn for him,
Yeah.
and she uses hers every turn. So it's not mandatory. It just it like that like one brain cell of attention you have to pay. You no longer have to pay that one brain cell of attention. it's just it's just
Yeah.
so like easy to do. So yeah, it's actually her second that is the more important just for that.
Right.
But yeah, so
Right.
no, but I when I was summoning for her, I was like, I really want that E1 just because I want that easiness. I don't want to think about skill points.
Mhm.
Because I had a big enough time like when because I had Imbibitor Lune during like 1.x, and he's a skill point monster. Like he eats all of the skill points.
Right.
Your other characters aren't allowed to use them. So I was just like, I don't even want to think about those days again. So I really want that first dupe. So I made sure I got one dupe into her. I tried to get the second one too, but I just wasn't able to make it.
Yeah. But yeah, other than just growing pains with my team, Star Rail's been pretty good. It's still fun, and yeah,
I'm glad to hear you've been enjoying it.
yeah. It's literally like the only MiHoYo game that I like back then and today. So
I
yeah,
am
still going
judging you
strong.
harshly.
What do you mean? Why are you judging me?
Someone's gotta. Matthew can't.
Oh,
I'm not
well,
playing.
yeah,
that game,
Matthew
so-
cannot. He literally cannot. Yeah.
It does. It's one of those things that makes me happy to hear that you are enjoying it, and it makes me happy to hear my friends enjoy the same games as me. I guess I don't know. It's just I don't know. It gives me another person to talk to about this game. I guess if you actually keep playing it. So
Yeah, yeah. I think that's just my problem with just video games in general. Is that after like a month or so, that's when I kind of like just lose interest and then go on to the next thing.
I've been able to balance that really well with Star Rail because it's like I log on. It takes me like I said maybe 5 minutes to do my dailies, and then I log off. And
Hmm.
so it takes like so minimal time for me. I don't even really think about that 5 minutes. Like that 5 minutes, I forget it happens sometimes. Like sometimes I'll be going to bed and I'll be like, oh wait, did I do Star Rail today? And I'm like, I have to really think about it. I'm like, oh yeah. So it doesn't even feel like I'm playing it. So I never really
You
actually
have
get tired
to
of it.
revive that one brain cell that you threw away with the one Firefly.
Yeah, kind of. So it doesn't even feel like I play it. So I never really get tired of it per se. So it's really is a matter of when I play Star Rail, it's because I'm wanting to play it. So
Yeah. Also, one thing that's really interesting is that I went from level 47 to like 55 in like week and a half, and I think that was because I caught like the tail end of the 2 times boost, so that helped out a lot, so that was nice. But yeah, so it was interesting how quickly I was going through stuff. So yeah.
so I did find it funny that I looked over at Discord one day and it was like was playing Genshin, Nat was playing ZZZ, Nat was playing Star Rail, and I'm like, what the heck?
Okay.
What?
Well, okay. Okay, so
Nat,
I played a little
confirmed
bit.
MiHoYo simp now. How the times have
Oh god,
changed.
don't say that. For Genshin, all I did was played a little bit, just got the mail, and I'm just like, as much as I want Raiden Shogun, I'm just like, what's the point? Because it just feels worse than Wuthering Waves in terms of like combat and gameplay.
For you, my dude, it there really isn't much of a point, I guess. Like this game is 4 years into it. It's not even like I don't even think MiHoYo's too worried about bringing in new players at this point for Genshin. I it's So I mean, I wouldn't really stress that too much. I mean, like I guess if you've been logging in when her banner
No,
goes live, throw the summons at it, see what happens. But
I don't
no,
think I even have enough to do one pull.
but I wouldn't stress it too much. Like quite frankly, in all aspects, Wuthering Waves is just Genshin but better, and I mean
It
that
truly is.
in like almost the most literal sense. Even some of Genshin's like flaws, Wuthering Waves carries over, which it's just like weird. Like they fix so many things in Wuthering Waves, but there's still some like flaws that Genshin has
Oh yeah.
that I've already seen like Wuthering Waves do as well. And I'm like, why? Why would you copy that? Like to this day,
Yeah, fucking artifact grinding and RNG substat RNG bullshit. I don't know why that's still in the game, but sure. I mean,
to
I
this
know
day,
why, but yeah.
Genshin Impact's one of its biggest flaws and the things that, you know, irks me off to no end is after they run an event, they never run it again. Um,
Yeah,
and
isn't
the
Alloy from Forbidden fucking whatever the fuck the PlayStation game was is like still like 4 stars some shit. And just
oh,
like
she's
no.
worse than 4 stars. Um,
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
so like that aside, I mean like their actual like in-game events. Like they'll run events, and there's so many events that have really interesting stories. But if you don't play when that event is live, you don't get the story, so you don't get to
Right.
experience the things. Sometimes those stories are like canonical to the main story going on, like so you need to know these things because they canonically happen. But if you didn't play, you don't you don't get to experience it. The like some of the best like 4-star weapons are all from events. So if you don't play and get them during that event, you never get that 4-star weapon. Like there are certain characters, like 5-star characters, whose best weapon is a 4-star weapon, and you can't get that 4-star weapon because it was from an event.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it's
then like the literal worst example of this is the basically the end of patch cycle summer events they do for every year is usually it's a limited zone. So you get a whole big spanking new zone that's only there for a limited time, and the stories are some of the best stories you get out of Genshin every year. Like one of them is like centered around Kazuha, is who is like one of Genshin's best written characters. And it's probably one of Kazuha's best stories. And if you didn't play that year during that summer event, you never get to experience that story for Kazuha, who is a fan favorite character. You never get to, see that like story resolution. And then like this year, instead of I don't know how the story was received, but the zone was really popular because it was very pretty, very like fairy tale esque, and it was kind of cool. If you didn't play, you don't ever, get to see that zone, and then they take them out.
Yeah.
They're gone. And it's just like, why? Why do you do this?
Yeah, the shit MiHoYo ports into Genshin Impact is just really fucking weird. And I'm not like talking about like just the main story and all that, but like just some just weird fucking events. I'm just like, why? What's going on? I don't understand. That being said, though, if MiHoYo for whatever reason do decide to be like, yeah, we're just gonna like make Genshin Impact 2. I'll play it on release and see how it is. Hopefully, it's as good as Wuthering Waves, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, so
Yeah. Uh, And I went on that tangent to say like Wuthering Waves has unfortunately carried that tradition over.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
events don't like any story and stuff from it, or when the event's over. So I'm really happy I did log in to play this current like festival event thing that's going on because the story is pretty good in it. I like the character. And I'm just like, oh man, yeah, I'm glad I played this because once this patch is gone, I wouldn't be able to experience this event. Now, uh, Kuro might bring the events back later. We'll see. It's still too early to say on that end of things, but it is like it kind of sucks that they're just not like permanent like side stories you can do. Like, 'cause like in Star Rail, when an event's permanent, it's permanent from the moment it's added. So
yeah.
now not every event's permanent, but the ones that aren't in Star Rail are just random battle events. They don't have like any like real significant story stuff going on or anything. So
Yeah. But yeah,
but you haven't just been playing gotcha games, Nat. You've been doing some other stuff. You've been
like what?
you've been stuck on a Persona. You've
Oh,
been
bro,
playing
get
it
me fucking
every day.
out of that game. Holy shit, man. I okay. Obviously, you two would know, but maybe not the listeners. But Persona games are fucking long. But for
Yeah,
some reason,
they're pretty long.
Persona 5 is fucking long. I don't know why. But yeah, so I've been playing Persona 5. I made the joke. I made a joke on Twitter saying, like, oh, what was it? I'm not gonna bring it up. Just want to like verbatim it. I said, even if I play this game for like 8 hours every single day, I still would not be done with Persona 5 by the end of the week. And I'm just like, I said
Sounds
that
like you're
like
not
last
playing
week, and
enough
I'm just like,
Persona.
damn, that's. Hmm?
Sounds like you're not playing enough Persona. Sounds like you should just play more.
Oh, well, here's the thing though. I stream it, so I try to keep the content on stream. The one time I finally actually played Persona 5 off stream is when I was grinding in Mementos, and even like, yeah, I got a few things done. I'm literally about to finish off the Strength Arcana, which is the Twin Wardens, and then once I get back on, I'm gonna try and attempt to fight the Reaper, and then yeah, once we're out of there, we're back to the fucking main story. But yeah, it's really interesting playing 5 after 4, because I said to my mate, I'm like, Persona 5 isn't that bad, because he says he doesn't like Persona 5, and I'm just like, I can understand that, but one thing Persona 5 actually does over 3 and 4, I'm pretty sure 3, but definitely 4, is that you can transfer or you can fusion demons with Debilitate and Heat Riser into the new demons and all that. And I'm like, that's pretty cool, but I'm just like, and he's just like, is that really all it takes for it to be a good game? I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like,
I think
yes, like
that's
it's
probably like
so.
a person by person thing, really.
I guess so, because like I remember liking 5, but replaying it, I'm just like, I don't know. It's like I just I have some. It's weird because I'm just like, there's some good things about 5, but there's also some just like, I don't want to say bad, but like No, actually, no. You know what? I will say bad because it is fucking annoying. I don't know why. 4 doesn't do this, but for some reason, 5 likes to wall off social links with high social stats very early on with the social links. It's so fucking weird. I hate it. Like starting EY the gun guy, you need rank 4 fucking guts. Guts is the hardest stat to level up in that game. Uh Makoto, you gotta have rank 3 knowledge, knowledge, and then at a certain point you
I
need
mean,
max rank charm.
that's kind of like
No, this is
all,
early on, like
but
into
that's kind of
this.
like always been a Persona issue because like to even do one of the social links in 3, you need max intelligence,
Oh
and it's
god, it's
just
so
to start it.
awful.
I love you to
And then
death,
like
but why does she require that?
yeah,
Yeah. Fucking Hifumi also needs max out charm just to talk to her, just to start it as well.
Well, to be fair,
It's just
to be fair, there's a perfectly reasonable answer to that. Well, not reasonable, a perfectly logical answer to this, and it's that they do want you to play through the game twice. If I'm being charitable, and I don't actually feel like being charitable, but if I am being charitable, it's once to play through at your leisure and once to clean up. When in reality, what it's going to be is once to play through and you don't know what you're doing without the thickest goddamn walkthrough in the world, and then once to clean up. But like the leisure part never happens for me because I want to do all this stuff and I don't know.
yes,
I
exactly.
don't know why I can't, and I just don't find Persona enjoyable in the long run because I end up just frustrating myself out of the experience. A situation
Yeah.
that does not crock up in SMT, so that's why it's my preference of the two.
See, you say that, and I do agree with you with 3 and 4, especially 4, because 4 definitely wants you to play New Game Plus. Because I don't, it's not very, it doesn't really tell you, but 4 wants you to do true ending twice just to get one persona. Um, but other than that, like 5, I, I for some reason 5 makes you want to do everything in one playthrough, uh, even though other games, not other games, previous game says otherwise. It's really weird.
so here's the thing about 5. If you're playing Royal, which you are to be fair, Nat,
Yeah,
you can. I'm like 95% sure of this. Anyone feel free to fact check me, but I am 95 sure on this because of how many times I've played 5. You can do everything possible in your very first playthrough on P5 Royal
yeah,
just because of how many things they like ways they give you to do things, and that they give you, more options to do in certain scenarios than they do in the base game.
yeah,
And because of just the simple fact of like changing small things in the very small things in the combat, that in a first playthrough you can basically one sitting every, dungeon. Uh you can do everything, like do all of your social links, get all your social stats all in your first playthrough of Persona 5 Royal, doing it naturally without looking at a guide where people have like calculated out the, best route to do this. That's a different story entirely. Either you got to be one of the people that know how to do that, or you've got to be, just really lucky and it works out for you. But
bro. You don't even need to look fucking anything up. You just need to unlock rank 5 Chifuya, which is the fortune teller chick, and she just, oh, you made a mistake. Oh, she'll fix it for you for just 5k.
Thanks, babe.
yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
like with Royal especially, it definitely, it makes it feel like that. Probably because you can. Like that's just the truth of it. You can. So
Yeah,
and
but it's just weird. It's like I don't remember 3 because 3 has been so fucking long since I've played it. But 4, it's like the game wants you to play New Game Plus.
Oh
But for
yeah.
5, it's like 5, it's
I
like
can't speak for original 3 very well because it's been way too long since I've played it. Playing through Reload, which watching you play P5 every day for the last couple weeks, basically,
oh god.
has made me realize, oh man, I really need to go finish my Reload playthrough, especially because the DLC comes out, I think, next week.
Mhm. Jerk
But
him.
I can't speak for Reload because I haven't finished it, but I do think it still wants you to do 2 runs on Reload as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Just because they did keep a lot of those systems, like the way the social stats work and whatnot in 3, they did keep those mostly intact. So it's still pretty much like playing the original 3 in that regard. So, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because like I've treated Reload mostly like it's like my first time playing a person, like my first time playing a Persona. I go in completely blind. I don't even
Oh
look
fuck
up.
that! I don't do that. Nah.
I don't even
I
look
need
up
a
the
guide.
answer. I don't even look up the answer to questions most of the times. So I am mostly going into my Reload playthrough. I've been doing that mostly. I've looked up answers to questions for this, and occasionally I'll be like, wait, how does this work, or what do I have to do for this? And I'll look that up. I'm not afraid to look things up in this playthrough I've been doing, but I'm not actively doing it either. So
Yeah, no, I can't fucking do that. That's just I just can't.
I mean, when I do my second playthroughs in all of Personas, I have like 16 different guides open for like I'm just like how do I do this the best? What do I gotta do here? So
yeah, and also like I just don't also like the fact that fucking Persona 5 has like a 6-hour fucking tutorial, and I'm just like, no, just please go. Like, I just wish there was a way to like just turn tutorials off and just allow me to play the first 10 hours of the fucking game.
And now
It's
you
like,
know
it's so
how I
annoying.
feel about Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, thankfully that's only 1 to 2 hours. Yeah. And there's also mods to skip the Roxas part, so you can just start playing the game.
Now.
Yeah, back then, yeah, no, you had to just stick through it. But yeah, with its just weird things that I'm picking up with Persona 5, I still like it. I think, that being said though, I think 4 may or may not be creeping up to be my more favorite than 5, which is weird to say because usually people say that 4 is the weakest.
I certainly think 4 is the weakest. And that's not me thinking that saying 4 is bad or anything. I just really like 3 and 5.
Thoughts, Dolan?
Oh yeah, no, 4 is the weakest because of writing. It just has the least amount of, I don't know, stock and play. I mean, Persona games, all of them will end with the end of the world if you let it go on long enough. But Inaba just felt so insulated from that. I also just like the cast the least, which is a shame because I really like that cast.
Yeah, fair. Fair. But yeah. So yeah, I've been playing Persona 5. Well, yeah. I've been streaming Persona 5 Royal for the last... Matt, you should know how many weeks now?
It's been about 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
3
now.
weeks, and it's roughly between 5 to 8 hours each stream.
Yeah, long streams, man. Like he's been on that grind.
Yeah, and I'm still not fucking done with the fucking game.
So, has there been anything you've been up to other than the things other than The things that you can basically be called out on because you've been streaming it or Discord decided to rat you out?
I've just been playing Dota 2 with my maid.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing really special going on with me.
All right. So, Dalit, other than, dying, how you been? What's been up?
Been dying. For the lion's share of this week, I've done nothing. I would sit down at my desk and I would I think I did mix out an episode, but other than that, it was just every time I thought to like sit down and focus on something, couldn't do it. So would veg out and get lost on YouTube or watch a movie or something.
Fuck yes.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But as I slowly but surely regained my senses, I was able to finally pick up Wukong because I wouldn't shut up about that game for 5 years. Then it comes out and I'm too busy playing Path of Exile. So I finally picked it up. And I've been playing through 3 or 4 chapters, and chapters are pretty sizable, mind you.
Mhm.
And I've been enjoying myself with the game. But also, I don't know why anyone is talking about this game like Game of the Year.
That's really surprising hearing that coming from you. Because
doesn't it have something to do with the fact that there's been so little to really come out this year?
Except that Astrobot just launched and everyone loves it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out this year, and don't get me wrong, I have my issues with the amount of crap I had to do in that game, but overall, I fucking enjoyed doing that crap.
Look, I don't have any gripes with Astrobot, really. If Astrobot won Game of the Year, I would be very surprised.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to. If Wukong doesn't do something truly impressive soon, I see no reason why this game does like phenomenally. Like this is a good Souls adjacent game. It's not a Souls like. This is an action game. Number go up.
Yeah, this is a hack and slash game. Yeah.
Like it feels like a Souls like game in many regards, but those are just tropes of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Like he sips from a gourd. I don't know. Clive sipped from a potion. Does that make Clive a Dark Souls character? The progression really does, at least for the moment, feels like number go up, which was the same issue I had in 16. And whilst there are elements in this game, they do not feel impactful unless an enemy is using them. Then they feel kind of impactful.
Okay.
I still feel really, really early. I just got the 4 Zodiac characters area. I'm just through Act 3. Game is beautiful. It's not as beautiful as the trailers that they showed all that time ago, but to be fair, we knew it couldn't look that good because that was just a movie. That would be I don't know what would be able to run it like that. I'm sure the soundtrack's good, but I've been so into the world that it's kind of melded into the background to a degree that I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Ooh, it's wallpaper music.
I'm almost certain that's not true. I feel like if I were to sit down and listen to the score is technically brilliant. I just it nothing truly stands out to me yet. The characters are really cool. But this is a Chinese game made for a Chinese audience first and foremost, and I can tell that because no character is expounded upon.
Journey to the West is well known.
No, it's not. That's the problem.
I mean, like in China. I mean, so
okay, yes.
Like, yeah. So you wouldn't have to explain Journey to the West characters to, that's probably like a.
I'm going to say this right off the bat. This is not Journey to the West. Journey to the journey has already happened. This is a different story, which is why this is a problem.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I say Journey to the West because it's connected to the lore Journey to the West.
Oh no,
That's just
this
what
is directly in line with Journey to the West. You are correct. This just happens after the journey.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
when you're
Yeah. Okay.
introducing characters, you're introducing characters that other characters already have a
Met
yeah, they have
I see what you
a
relationship.
mean.
connection
I
to.
see what you
So
mean.
there's
Yeah.
no, by the way, I
Right.
am so and so, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now, granted, because where everyone else was a giant Japanese weeb, I was way more into China when I was young. I'm keeping up, but there are plenty of characters. I'm like, I really, really wish we had anything more to know about you. So it's
I bet you if I throwed you a big titty anime girl, you'd know who it is immediately because there's probably a Fate version of them.
um there are a couple women in this game. I didn't know who the fuck they were.
You got to remember, in Fate, it doesn't matter what they were. They're usually big titty anime
I mean
girls.
that's true. Fucking, you're not wrong.
I have to say it that way too, just because it sells home the whole Fate thing.
That's
So
just
I'm
what
not
Fate
trying to be
does.
crass. I'm not trying to be crass. That just
No,
sells home
you're with
the
the
Fate thing.
exception of very specific characters, which are not big titty anime girls. They're in fact,
Like Stealth Flow?
no, they're ironing board anime girls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's genuinely how the gender swaps work. Technically, Astolfo is not gender swapped. They just did a lot of other changing to that character. um. Anyways, overall, I'm gonna catch a video after I'm finished to really go over like who everyone was because I am interested in that, and the game does to a small degree expound on who these characters are in the you beat this character, he's a little about the enemy section, but
Oh, okay.
the story does more than a Souls like, so I don't want to say it's like trying to learn about a Souls character, but it only does a little bit better. So, um, to
I
someone
think
who is not of the culture and doesn't know the whole story by heart, I'm really excited whenever I see a character I know because I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to do homework for the next 20 minutes. Fantastic.
yeah, that's fair.
Gameplay feels good
It
though. It's
is.
just a series of boss fights, and I'm gonna be honest. I really like that. If this game were to end in 2-3 hours, I still think this would be a fantastic 8 out of 10 game.
I mean, it is still interesting to hear you say, like, you'd be surprised if it won Game of the Year, or you don't get why people are saying Game of the Year, because I have only heard like great things about it on
So have
Twitter and
I. I agree with you. I just don't. I really wish they would, you know, clarify why they feel how they feel.
I'm wondering if the people who say that are saying this game should be Game of the Year while only taking in the factor of the end of the game and not the entire game.
It could be. It could be that like recency bias. The last 4 hours of this game are hype on a
It's
degree
like
that is
phenomenal, yeah.
unknowable.
I mean, I'm already spoiled by one
Yeah, like
boss, which
look,
I find really fucking cool.
what's going to happen at the end of this is I'm going to ascend to the heavenly court. I'm going to fight everyone, and I'm
Yep.
probably going to get my ass kicked. It's going to be great.
Hey, you'll work on you'll live. You'll come back.
And to both of those statements, because neither of those statements are as correct as you think.
Oh,
But yeah, no, it's that this is the same year as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers, which I think shot any chance of it being Game of the Year in the face last month, but
yep.
maybe, you never know. Persona 3 did drop. I don't see a Persona taking Game of the Year, but
no,
it was
Might take best
super
RPG.
true. If Shadow of the Erd Tree weren't a DLC, it would probably be Game of the Year just because of the FromSoft bias, which I don't even necessarily think is
Right.
wrong. I still have to play it. Um, I loved the base game quite a lot. I played
Mhm.
through it like several times to get the various route endings.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is by far the most played Souls-like I've ever played. So
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, like the other games that came out probably aren't going to be contenders. Like this is obviously one of the contenders. This is one of the games
Yeah.
that you see at the end of the year, game of the year, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Like people thought it was going to be Stellar Blade. I didn't think that ever had a chance in hell. People were just happy to be horny and not be, I don't know, bapped on the forehead for it.
Based.
It's like with the shooty game I'm playing, the First Descendant. People were just happy to be.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, the shooty game you're playing? I was like, what?
Look, man, this brain can only hold so much on the best of days, and these are not the best of days. Um, People are just really happy to be allowed to be horny. Look, and I'm not even saying it to be mean. Like genuinely, people are talking about the First Descendant like it's some great new amazing. It's Warframe with tits and ass, and frankly, human tits and
And
ass. Exactly.
Warframe already has tits and ass, so
But it's tits and ass that normies won't feel weird getting hard to. So,
yeah.
like, I think that's what a lot of these games are. Like, Black Myth Wukong kind of probably is being spoken around universally positively because it is a very good game. And all the people
Mhm.
that would typically cry DEI have nothing to cry about in this game because everyone's a furry
Yep.
or a monster of some kind. So
Monster fucker. Yeah,
and
that's the proper term.
they don't see monsters as people, so like there's no like distinctions being made there. And all the people
Mhm.
that really want inclusion, I mean, they A probably weren't going to argue about it anyway, and B, like I said, it's a game full of furries. They're getting what they want. So I think it's just a
Yeah.
game that lends itself to being non-controversial if you take away the whole nonsense during development.
Right.
Whereas seven, there's changes to seven, so people get really pissy about anything that's not the same. Seven was absolutely riddled with mini games. I know they were there in the first game. I know it. Still was a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yep.
And
I can say this with some certainty. I think this year's Game Awards are going to be very interesting to see what gets nominated for what and what ends up
I
happening.
genuinely, if the Game Awards happen tomorrow, hugely biased because I haven't even played the game yet. Everything I've seen of Astrobot is just I want that game to take it so bad. It is going to be a gift to myself when I get paid again. It wasn't on my list of games that I had to have, which is my own fault. I played Astro's Playroom. That game was amazing. Team Asobi is the former Japan Studios team or Sony Studios Japan team.
Yep.
So this is the Bloodborne crew. This is
Yeah.
exactly like if you've played a Japan Studios Sony game, this is them. This is them with a couple extra people. I think it might just be them by a different name.
Yeah, you hear that, Bloodborne fans? Fucking Astro Bot or Astro, whatever the fuck it's called, is the direct sequel of Bloodborne.
I mean,
This is
Lady
your
Maria's
Bloodborne
in the
2.
game. I saw her. So
Yeah, also Hunter, isn't it?
the
Geeky
basic hunter
motherfucker.
outfit is in the game. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's a different bot. Um, mm.
there you do. Finally, Bloodborne 2, top and bottom text.
I'll admit, I've seen enough about it that even I'm kind of like, maybe I should consider picking this up at some point.
Oh yeah,
It
no, I'm
is,
definitely gonna do it.
it's a no rush for me. I've got enough other things to worry about
Yeah, he's
getting.
got other
So.
fucking Genshin,
Sure.
not Genshin, gacha games to play.
Nope.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been playing Wukong. I like it. Just to reiterate that, I like this game, and I will be making sure to play it again because after you complete a chapter, certain things disappear that I didn't think would disappear, and it frustrated me.
Oh. Okay.
Like certain encounters just go away.
Right.
So it's like, that's nothing. It doesn't really mean anything. But I wanted to fight it. I just didn't realize I was wandering into the boss room. Also, that game's crazy easy. What? That was unexpected.
I can't say
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that, actually.
Yeah, I also heard that it was pretty easy, to say the least.
Like, I definitely do die to things. Like, if I just get jumped by multiple enemies, juggling enemies is difficult, but the bosses are...
But
Assuming you don't die to the initial volley, they are very learnable. Incredibly learnable.
yeah, you're not dying in 2 hits with wonky ass fucking hitboxes and all that shit.
Hold on. Sometimes,
Well,
if you, like I said, if you die in that immediate volley, you will have learned nothing. I had that happen a couple times where I just walked in, I got... Because whilst they're easy, they still do, like, roll catch and stuff. Because you can't guard in this game, because fuck me, I guess. You have to dodge. And their timings are pretty good. So they will catch you on, like, the logical places to roll. Like, okay, you don't know the pattern yet. You expect to roll here, and thwap. So,
okay.
if that's in the initial pattern that they do, yeah, no, you can die pretty quick. But I think a lot of them are also loopable at range, because they'll do some crazy punishable move. So, when in doubt, lame it out. And with that, I've come to the end of my throat. Back to you guys.
Well, I am very curious as to what your opinions, if they do change at all, once you do beat the game, because
we'll figure it out next week. I'm sure I'll have plenty to say, because it'll be done by next week. God, I hope. I can't. I need games to not last 600 hours anymore. I'm not built like that.
Yeah, Persona. Yeah, Atlas,
looks directly at Atlas.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Metaphor-ish, but it's only an ish, because I know that's going to be Persona. I know it is.
Yeah,
I don't have the time for those 600-hour games. I still don't complain about them. I'm just like, hey man, I like games. Do what you do.
Yep. Yeah, I don't want base game of Persona 6 being 120 hours. It's like, okay, why? But yeah, so alright, so Dolet is more or less officially done for this episode, correct?
Don't say it like that.
that's the sound of it, and honestly, that's a good spot for us to pretty much wrap up on. I think.
Yeah. So there's going to be a follow up for Black Myth Wukong and follow up for what other game?
I don't know. There's probably a couple other things we said we'd follow up on at some point.
Right. Yeah.
We figure it out as we go, guys. Our listeners know that by now.
Yeah, we all have onset dementia. We don't even remember the last 10 minutes of this fucking cast. So yeah,
what were we talking about?
Pretty much. Exactly.
Huh?
Something about Roxas.
So
Roxanne.
I don't know. Scyther.
I was trying to remember the Sora thing from the beginning of 2, and I couldn't remember it. Dang it.
Same. You're just proving my point, bro.
All right. Well, you know what? Dalet's throat's gone. My adrenaline from my surprise party is slowly like actually fading. So
I need to get back into fucking Persona 5 because I'm still not done with that game.
So that is a perfectly awesome point to end it on. And listeners, thank you for hanging out with us. This was kind of a chill episode. We just catching up. We just the boys chilling, talking about what we've been doing. It's been an interesting couple weeks for us. You can see a little different for some of us.
Yeah, this is a non-official gacha episode, by the way.
In a sense.
Yeah.
But listeners, as always, thank you for listening. And remember, if you want to, show us some love, you can always share the cast around, tell your friends about us, share it on Twitter, Facebook, I don't know, whatever else is out there. What's other social media? Instagram. I don't know. Show it, share it, tell people about us. That's the best way you can show support, and we really appreciate it. If you got comments, you got questions, you got, topic ideas, you can leave those in the comments below on YouTube, Spotify, and, of course, can always tweet at us with the hashtag AskCRP for the same thing, questions, comments, topic ideas, and perhaps we'll
Yeah.
get pulled for an episode. So as always, we appreciate you, and I think I've repeated myself 3 times now. So yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
All right, take care, everyone, and take care of yourself, Dolan.
Be good now.